of 3 lower bracket finals. Winner goes on to the grand final to play up against the Power of Friendship. And we'll have to see. I mean, both of these teams, they've had a very long path. Canton High School, of course, through the upper bracket, losing to Power of Friendship in the upper final. And then 2634, they've had quite the long journey through the lower bracket, taking down some pretty massive teams. Teams that you might have thought, like, they even managed to go through Scarsdale in the last one, and in the last lower bracket match, and that was, you know, quite an easy match for Cupertino. So I think they've got a lot to offer here. With this draft, it might be a little bit difficult for them, as we said, picking the Lifestealer into heroes like Axe and Razor, as well as the Slaughter. It's going to be a little bit more difficult, but the AoE combo from Cupertino is ridiculously good here. So we'll have to see how it works out. Meanwhile, over at bottom, we're already getting the start here on the PMA Dota. He's going to see Lacuna on the high ground. Will get the stun on the only one. Naps has the telekinetic lift, and he's going to throw DT Toast away. That's just going to force back Cupertino.
There used to be a cliff there. Feels bad. Yeah, in reality, they got a little ambitious walking up that hill without vision. There wasn't really going to be any way that goes well unless there was just one hero sitting there. But
in fact, there's not really a whole point in being there anyway. I mean, you can walk up the hill, but Slardar, if you take a look, he's not even got a ward or anything. So he's just kind of walking up the hill just for fun. Going on an adventure.
Yeah. And so the hell begins for the Queen of Pain. Shadow strikes the Razor. He decides he wants to steal 29 damage from her. 58 damage differential in the first wave is pretty rough for the Quap. There's actually like a meta trick you can do here, where if you're the Queen of Pain, you just constantly try to aggro the creeps and run them in circles. And stop them, basically just slows down the creep wave dying from both sides. And you can kind of wait out some of the link. But all in all, it's probably more technical than it's worth.
I don't know. It's kind of a mind game as well. Like, you kind of run around for a while, you make the lane difficult for both of the heroes until Queen of Pain gets some of that damage back. I mean, it kind of wastes the Razor's commitment into the level 1 link as well. But now you see him putting the points into Unstable Current. So, oh, actually, Lacuna nearly taken out at bottom. Already starting with that Howl damage. Pretty massive even at level 1.
Yeah, and this 1 point in Current's actually going to do a lot because Quap wants to be shadow striking you pretty much every cooldown. It's just a great way to apply a lot of lane pressure to the opposing mid. But if she's doing that now, she's taking trade damage every time she does it.
Right, as well as possibly some extra harass. Lacuna will be the first blood over at bottom. Naps is going to pick that up with the last auto attack. So Canton are going to strike first here, showing them why they are a team to be feared. The highest average MMR in the HSL.
And I believe Canton is the top team in the standings, right? They're like 6-2, 6 wins, 2 ties.
They had the better record in this matchup, yeah, out of the group stage. But this is the playoffs, and quite honestly, I don't know if I would take group stage results to mind too much, especially since that ended in like April. So a very long time ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Man, is there even a bracket anywhere for the playoffs?
There is. I put it on the stream.
Anyway, something to look at between games. Let's see. All right, so Lycan did indeed skip Wolves, at least for points 1 and 2. Definitely think this is the right call. The 2 points in Feral Impulse, pretty much the standard build at this point. If he's being pressured a lot, this is where the pros will tend to go 4 full points into Feral Impulse, getting that 10 HP a second regen. It makes him really difficult to bring down. Does up his base damage a lot, but maxing Howl is just such a huge utility spell that if he's not being pushed out of lane, I like seeing that a lot better. It allows your mid laner to pressure the tower when everybody's lane's a little more, and can even be used to save an ally if need be.
Definitely taking a look at the leveling priority on him, and it also seems like it would work pretty well in the tri lane.
Yeah, you have 2 huge CCs, and they're not roaming, so I think they would absolutely be fine to do that. What I think these 2 supports from Cupertino should look to do, though, is carry TPs on them, and as soon as Axe gets to like level 5, level 6, which is going to be coming up fairly soon, they should rotate up top and try to pressure the Lifestealer.
You mean
Canton? The Lifestealer is super vulnerable. Is that Canton?
Yeah, Canton's on the Radiant side.
Oh, they're both CHS tagged. This is
Yep,
awful.
I told you. There's going to be a lift over at bottom. Magnus is going to get hit by literally everything and the crush. He does not have the skewer. He hasn't even picked that up. Yeah. He doesn't have the skewer, which means that he can't get back out.
Yeah, his goal here, I believe, is just to get to level 4 and start jungling. He took a point in Empower already. He's got a Talon queued up. I think his hope was he could just limp to level 4 and get the Iron Talon. And just try to start plowing through the jungle, but that's rough. He just can't even be in this lane if the wave's not at his tower.
So we were talking a little bit about this mid matchup, and now the Queen of Pain is kind of starting to come up ahead of Jericho. And Jericho, the range on that Frostbite, a little bit too small.
She's up like 1 CS. Okay, 2 now.
I mean, we were talking about how the Razor was dominating the lane earlier, but now the lane position just hasn't really worked out for him, so Queen of Pain is getting ahead.
What Jericho needs to be doing here, you get the 1 or 2 points in Static Link early just for that first wave push, and then you want to max Plasma Field so you can keep the wave under their tower every even minute, basically when the runes spawn. Queen of Pain is super reliant on her bottle when she hits level 5 or so, and really, if you can just push the wave to the tower so she has to choose missing an entire wave or going to get a rune, you start to give yourself a much bigger lead. If not in CS, at the very least in XP. But with only 2 points in the Plasma Field, it's a little difficult to shove the lane out. Like right now, he should already be nuking supports.
Maybe they can pick up Sane here. They do have a little bit of disable for it. The Static Link starts. She's going to get the blink off before the supports come through, though. That's really unfortunate.
That was just really weird timing. If you wanted to use the Static Link to force the blink, that's fine, but the support should have stayed smoked. And if your goal was to get the link off during the CC, you let Rubik come in first and lift. Yeah, I don't know. That was just kind of strange.
And that's just like a normal laning matchup to Queen of Pain. Doesn't even need a whole lot of, worrying to see those supports. The Razor just links and then you blink out. That should be how it works nearly every single time.
Yeah, so in theory, you could have baited the blink. It still would have been on cooldown for 6 or so seconds. They are going to look to go in down bottom, though. He does have Skewer finally on the Magnus.
Yeah, but the living armor, man.
Look at all that is a really cool animation.
Yeah.
Is that from the Immortal?
I believe so, yeah.
That's awesome. They kind of remind me of Pikmin.
Oh, yeah, that's true. So we take a look at the Queen of Pain. She's currently going for her power charge. Looks like she's going to be going for the Veil of Discord build-up as well. Which is pretty standard, and it's going to help Sane to really dominate in this early game.
I don't think she'll go Veil. I think she'll just stop at the 2 nulls.
Really?
Yeah, that's what most mids do nowadays. You need 2 nulls to win your lane. If you don't have the extra damage from them and the extra stats, you start to just get beat by most decent mids. But most people don't finish it out anymore. Veil just doesn't give enough useful stats for a mid laner.
They're going to go into the Magnus once again, who this time does have a skewer, but he's going to be able to get it out. He does have the skewer, but he's going to take Wilferzoo with him, who turns into a wolf and just turns it right around. DT Toast is also going to take it down over at bottom. The double kill for Wilferzoo, and he'll just wolf himself away.
Yeah, I mean, that was just insane. That Lycan with the Howl on had 160-something damage, plus the crit multiplier. Axe, though, is in trouble.
Is
Good
he?
TP.
Oh, yeah. The damage from Infest is going to be enough to take him down. Yeah, it was very close.
I'm actually a little surprised. This Axe has been relatively uncontested. The supports didn't really do a great job zoning him out on top, and they kind of struggle to do that anyway. But he was getting some XP top. He was farming his jungle.
Man, over at mid, Sane possibly could have gone in for the Sonic Wave, but didn't want to get too much damage stolen from the Static Link.
I mean, Sonic Wave does like 290. He's at 230. Could have just shot it from the low ground. But that's the fun with Quapple. It's pure damage. You know exactly how much it's going to do. No quick mental math or anything. But to be honest, if Razor shows his face here, it's just blink, scream, ult. He dies. And as a mid player, you have to know that burst range. It's roughly 500 damage.
Also has a little bit more with the double damage rune if he decides to go in.
Yeah.
But Razor's by this time already picked up his healing pot. Healing salve. You have to be in
she
some
could
very
fish.
you have to be in your very specific states to get some healing pot.
So bad.
It's late, man.
Is it? It's like 9 o'clock.
I was working today. Oh, whoa! Good thing you canceled that. Yeah, I know. He could decide to go, and Skewer's gonna go. That's RP again, canceled by the stun from PMA Dota. Well done by him. And now Lukuna's already used kind of a big commitment, but PMA does not have any more mana for a crush.
No, I was incorrect. Quap is gonna finish the Veil.
And he's probably going to end up dead here. Quap decides to go right on in. He's going to turn around after a little bit and finally gets that kill.
Oh no. Oh no. Lifestealer, please. Please.
Is he doing
You
it?
have time. You
Is
have
he doing
time
it?
to redeem yourself. You haven't committed yet. Oh. Alright. I mean, I say this with everybody I cast with on every different league. Midas is freaking awful on Lifestealer. Please do not buy it. It slows your tempo. The professional win rate for Lifestealers that go Midas is like 12% lower than those that don't.
Oh, a couple of kills across the map as we manage to lament the Midas. Wolferzu gets to bottom, and Shapeshift has about half of its duration left. He might decide to go on to Lacuna. DT Toast is going to be there. Can he get 3 hits in? 1, 2, 3. Got him, baby. Now Wolferzu is going to have to get out. His wolf form is now over.
Double crits to open that up. It was nuts. Ugh. Did you manage to get all those kills on camera?
All of them? The Queen of Pain and then the Magnus?
Yeah.
It's not that many, dude.
Nice. I was just staring at Lifestealer and crying. Like, in reality, I couldn't take my eyes off of it. This is just... You're playing a tempo-based carry. The second you get the armlet, you're like 3-shotting people. And you decide you want to make it take an extra 4 minutes? Alright, I'm done. That's my one Midas rant. I got it out. I'm better.
I'm glad. I'm
Lycan
glad
is going to pick up his Mask of Madness already. And with this, I would imagine they're going to be able to pressure the living hell out of this tower.
Which is exactly what they do right now, with PMA Dota also making it difficult for Lacuna to stay in that lane at all. Wolferzu just keeps on going after it. Nearly takes that down with just one creep wave. You do need to put a whole lot of pressure onto that tower, especially with the living armor going through. But they might be able to pick it up with the next creep wave if Lycan decides to go for it. He's going to try to be as effective as he can inside the jungle, but they have to realize that they're playing against a Treant Protector here, and here comes Sane starting it out, but she's not going to have any kind of interrupt for the Lycan TP, so he's just going to get away. Maybe wasting her time a little bit here.
Yeah, to be honest, their motives seem a little bit odd here on the Radiant side. They put a ton of pressure into that bottom tower, but you can't take it without committing to it. Okay,
some very interesting plays at top. I mean, they started the return TP to try to help out the Rubik. He got the Rage off on himself. There's going to be a rotation around the side from Enough and Jericho here, but Enough isn't quite at his Blink Dagger. He needs about 20 more gold for it. Meanwhile, Lacuna, he manages to pick up PMA Dota with the RP.
That he does. Now, Blink is going to be coming out on Axe here as soon as he buys it from Side Shop. This should be the go button here on this Radiant side.
It should be the go button, and it looks like Wolferzu might have placed it or pushed it a little bit too early. He goes over to the side shop with his shapeshift, and by that time, he's pretty much used 3/4 of the duration on just kind of moving around the lane. So they're still going to use the Mask of Madness and go right for the tower, but I almost feel like he might have used the shapeshift a little bit too early. They get the damage out onto Effie, and he's going to die from this Battle Hunger. Not even worth looking at him as he dies.
Of course, yeah.
And I feel like these build-ups for Canton are coming at a really good time against Cupertino. It's going to be really hard to respond here, especially with that Hand of Midas on the Nyx.
Yeah, this is the point. Your Lifestealer's supposed to have Armlet. His delivery method, which Quap would work for this, is available with a Blink. And you're supposed to just jump in people and start getting a kill and use that to take an objective. You just smoke people bottom, get a kill, grab the building, move on. And instead, they're stuck delaying their tempo game here. Yeah, this just looks super bad for the Steyr squad.
It's almost like they guarantee that their Treant Protector is going to give them enough time to respond to this one. Lukuna is going to screw himself away, but meanwhile in the mid lane, Jericho's picked up the kill on the Effie, just smashing that ice there. And, well, that poor little faceless Rex is going to go over and see that his wonderful Crystal Maiden is now dead. They definitely know that Naps is in the trees right there. They saw him go in with their ward, and now Satan's just going to find him. And, well, Effie's going to come back for round number 2. Naps is probably going to end up falling. He's going to die out from the dagger, or actually denied by the axe. Here we go, baby. Now PMA Dota. Oh, nearly got the crush on the Sane. Man, that would have been amazing if they had it. And look at all that damage that Razor's stolen away. 203.
Oh, and he got Howl here. Nighttime Howl is going to come in, too.
Static Link is a good ability, I guess.
Press your Howl button. There it is.
He pressed the button.
But now the Link's done.
Sorry, they still have some damage for this.
Yeah, they'll be probably fine.
Yeah. Even the living armor can't save that tower. And that'll allow them to disperse and start on their push elsewhere. It's still actually hanging out at mid, though. Enough is ready with another Blink Dagger. He's going to go to the high ground, get the Blink onto Crystal Maiden. That's her third death in about 50 seconds. Respawn timer is not really working out for Cupertino at all here, but Arc is going to turn around with the kill onto Enough. Can PMA Dota get over to the high ground? Arc wants to go back in. He's going to get the Infest into Sane, who is going to be able to get his Uber away from there. But does PMA Dota want to stay here for too long? Bottle up by Queen of Pain. That Blink is up in 2 more seconds. Does she actually decide to go in? But there's way too much damage here from Canton, and Jericho's going to turn around once again.
Yeah, he's just a monster right now. He's so tanky with that hood. And once he has some damage stolen, there's just very little this Dire Squad can do to him.
Oh no, and Arc might be in some trouble as well. He's going to get hit by the telekinetic lift, and the Static Link is still going through. Jericho's doing a lot of damage here. Sane goes up to the high ground, but does he really want to be there? He blinked it. His next blink is on cooldown for another 3 seconds. Is it going to be? No, they're not going to go for it. Oh, that's a bit unfortunate. They decide to go back towards bottom a little bit.
Yeah, at the same time, Lycan managed to take the tier 1 bottom, kill the Magnus, and get himself out. Pretty standard in the day of the life of a Lycan that doesn't kill Midas.
And now
so he did hit the 2-item power spike I was talking about, though, too. So this is probably the strongest point in the game for Lycan. He's got all of the skills that matter maxed out. He's got 2 core items.
The tree got blocked into the trees. That moment when your friends betray you. And then Jericho's going to chase for a couple more kills. Effie is going to get caught out. 70 damage stolen by the Static Link. And of course, with that Eye of the Storm still going on, the armor is going to be decreased, making it even easier to kill that Crystal Maiden. Another 2 easy kills for Canton, who seem to be steamrolling right now. And you could definitely see this coming. Their lineup is meant to be aggressive early, and that's exactly what they're doing here. They've got, like you said, that 2-item spike on Wilford Zoo. They've got enough out of Blink Dagger. Jericho's got his Swift Defiance, so he's going to be very difficult to kill here. You see all of the items just stacking up for Canton right now, and this is a draft that's designed to make you hurt in the early game, and that's exactly what it's doing to Cupertino right now.
Yeah, and now that all the tier 1s are down, Cupertino is not going to get a fort refresh at all. So this is going to get a lot harder here for them.
There's also a Blink Dagger on Swadar, looking for the high ground on the Sane, and he just tries to get the disable off on the Blink. Where's the axe? Is he going to be there fast enough? Yes, he is. There's the Blink. Naps has the telekinetic lift. Do they have enough damage on the Queen of Pain? There is not enough healing from Cupertino, and DT Toast, he's going to be forced away as well. The Overgrowth is not going to help him to stay alive, and Jericho is looking for even more blood. PMA Dota ready to go for another Blink. A crush. Is Arc going to get caught out by this one? He's going to rage to get away. That's going to be able to force back Canton for now.
I just don't know what Dire does. Their lineup looked fine, but Mag needed to get a Blink Dagger fairly timely. 18 is still passable, but they're just at this point right now where they haven't been pressuring at all. They've only taken the tier 1 mid. They've been struggling to get anything done around the map, and it seems like they're just getting pulled around so hard by this Radiant team.
Well, Cupertino need to come up big in this next Roshan fight. They've got the smoke. They've got Magnus with an infest. They have to go in right now. They don't know how low Roshan is, but they're going to go right in. Here comes Lacuna with the Blink RP. Sonic Wave on top of it, but there's not enough damage. Beautiful call by enough, but the freezing field is just so good from Crystal Maiden, but there's just not quite enough damage against this very tanky Canton High School squad. They're going to go right for Cupertino now. Crush from the back end to Queen of Pain. Might be able to get a scream. Goes for enough. The call is there.
You're giving it to him.
That's going to be a beyond godlike streak for Jericho. That's actually 5 heroes dead on Cupertino. No idea why it didn't get the rampage, but in any case,
it did the announcer pack trip for it. It just didn't show on screen. It bugged out.
Gosh darn it. Dota 2, why are you failing us?
My Tide Hunter did yell rampage. It was pretty great. That announcer pack's actually really good if you haven't listened to it yet.
I haven't. I don't play Dota.
Well, I think it's only like 75 battle pass levels.
You want to gift him to me?
What are you at right now?
Like 50?
You'll get there.
Okay. Eventually.
I just got laid off, dude. I'm broke.
That's okay. I'll just play some Dota or something and get some levels.
I actually have to play Dota for that. Well, with Razor picking up an SNY and an Aegis, this should be free reign on the last 2 outer towers. And then it is hold the high ground time.
Well, Cupertino, they still want to try to do things a little bit earlier. Sane is going to blink over. Oh, the courier's going to go over.
They're ditching him.
They're going to leave Naps there. Going to throw the Lifestealer up. It looks like they don't want Naps at all. Still, the damage is pretty good from Jericho. RP's going to be up in 20 seconds, perhaps a little bit too early to go in for Canton. Nice overgrowth on the 2. And Lifestealer is going to make his way out via the Dire creep there. So they're going to leave DT toast. Looks like this is just the game where the supports get left all on their lonesome here. That creep still wants to do his own thing here. PMA Dota could go after it. Lacuna does have the RP now. He gets it on to just the 1. And, or actually on the 2. Looks like Razor was just kind of stuck there in the middle of the model. Didn't even see him. Freezing Field is still pretty... Alright, well, Freezing Field cut short by the CM dying. 1 dunk, 2 dunk, 3 dunk is coming right there from enough. 3 kills, 3 dunks.
I'm all for being optimistic, but this one's looking pretty over. That fight in the Roche pit was, in all honesty, their best attempt.
Right.
From the Dire, they finally got their skills connected a little bit. They got some multiple uses off. Positioning could have been a little bit better, but overall, it was a good try. They just didn't have enough on the lifesteal.
I just don't understand what Cupertino are trying to accomplish here. They walk on in, get their lifestealer kill. Now DT Toast is going to fall again. Buybacks on the table. Right now, Cupertino are just crumbling. Like so many other teams in this league. But, you know, that's just the nature of the bracket. You get towards the end, you get against some really good competition. Canton, like we said, they're the highest average MMR team in the league, and it's very difficult to beat them. They're showing exactly why right here. Naps is going to get skewered underneath the tier 4 towers here, and that's going to be making it a lot easier to kill them off. So at least Cupertino have a kill to their name as the base defense fails.
Yeah. I don't know, man. There's only so much to say at this point.
I think we've gone over pretty much it all. I mean, Canton just made a lineup that was going to dominate early, and they didn't lose the lanes.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big part of it. And really, they just didn't... Their draft just seems like they didn't do what it was drafted to do. They didn't even make an attempt to. They got 6 up on Lifestealer. He couldn't get into Infest gank. Their tree didn't roam pretty much at all. Like, playing a static lane support tree like that is about as close to a useless support as it could be.
Oh, are they making offerings of items over at bottom?
Or are they?
I don't know. They were chasing a Queen of Pain for a while. You know, sometimes, like, you're chasing a hero, you're like, here, have my item.
Don't kill me.
Well, the shrines are going down as well. Canton High School taking all the gold that they can. We're only 23 minutes in. We've already had a base broken. The shrines are coming down. I mean, right now, Cupertino just have to be asking themselves, what exactly can we do differently in game number 2? And I think that it's just execute your lineup. I mean, they went for a Lifestealer Midas against a lineup that's supposed to dominate early, which might not have been the best idea. They didn't really go for their AoE ultimate combos, which they didn't get up at a bad time at all. Like, the timing was fine on it. They just did not utilize it.
Yeah. Well, I agree with you 100% there.
That's funny.
And to be
I agree
fair,
with you
again,
as well.
I don't like Lifestealer Magnus. It's just very clunky to me.
Well, it's time to go again. RP onto the Lycan. Can they get anything else? Sane is looking for a good Sonic Wave. Beautiful RP onto all three. Can you just throw up the damage, ladies and gentlemen? Canton cannot get enough of these team wipes. Cupertino would be wiped off the face of the earth once again. And that's going to be game number 1 going to Canton High School.
At least Rubik got to feel like he got to play Rubik once this game. That was a huge RP steal. I don't think it changed the fight in any way, but he managed to hit 3 with it. That was pretty. So, super clean game 1 out of Canton. I'm assuming these are best of 3s.
They are best of 3s.
Fantastic. Well, they need to take a couple minutes, go back to the locker room, get yelled at by the coach. Captain needs to make an inspirational speech. Maybe they can come up with something a little different.
Maybe they'll even get a documentary made about themselves. Well, that's been game 1. So thank you for watching, guys. We'll be back with game number 2 in the HSL Dota 2 playoffs in just a bit. And as always, cheers.